Good morning. Thank you for joining me as we do a little morning recon on Hurricane Major or Hurricane Laura. What a blow up overnight. If you think about this time yesterday, what Laura looked like compared to what Laura looks like now, it is absolutely amazing what can happen in 24 hours in the tropics. Just absolutely amazing. Excuse me while I drink my morning coffee here. Laura has that classic shape. She is a monster. She is absolutely doing her job, when you break down hurricanes and tropical systems to the very elementary core, tropical systems, hurricanes, they have one job, and that is to cool the water and to cool the atmosphere. They're like nature's air conditionings for the ocean. That is the hurricane's job in nature. And the bathwater that the Gulf of Mexico is in, well, it only goes to common sense to think that in order to cool the Gulf of Mexico, to cool the waters, you're going to need a big system to do that. And given the environment that Laura is in, Laura is doing her basic elementary job in nature, which is she is upwelling that water, trying to cool that water off, which is that's what she's intended to do in nature. So when we went to bed last night, Laura was a Category 1, about 90 miles per hour. She's bigger than that now. Let's go take a look at I like to do 3-day first. Let's take a look at the 3-day. Let's look at the information. Maximum sustained winds is 115 miles per hour with Laura right now. Movement is northwest, so it was west-northwest. Now it's northwest at 15 miles per hour, which that is about 2 or 3 miles per hour slower than what it was at 10 o'clock last night. So we've taken the due west component out of it. Now it's northwest. So started her little bit of a turn there. This is at the 7 a.m. advisory. You're looking at Laura's wind fields. Let me blow this up right quick. So tropical storm force and then hurricane force. Yesterday, this was a little sliver. Now we're going out, and it's only going to get bigger, by the way. Laura continues to strengthen. The last flight recon pass through the eye wall was actually seeing about 120 mile per hour winds in the northeast corner. So she is continuing to strengthen. National Weather Service has landfall right on the Texas-Louisiana coastline, Sabine Pass, maybe just a little east of that. Notice what is not in the cone of uncertainty anymore. That is the city of Houston. So I am pretty confident now, and so is the National Hurricane Center, that a direct hit from Laura is not really in the cards for Houston, which is an absolutely wonderful thing. Now, one man's good news is another man's bad news. Beaumont, Port Arthur, Cameron, Louisiana, Lake Charles, Louisiana, you are still going to be in the bullseye. But the city of Houston, you will have impacts. Okay, there definitely will be impacts, but a direct hit is now not likely, which is really good news for you. Let's go to storm surge. I want to make sure that everybody sees this. In Houston, you're looking anywhere between 2 to 5 feet in Houston. Around Beaumont, Port Arthur, Sabine Pass is going to be 6 to 9 feet. And then as you get onto the east side of the storm, they've actually raised this up 10 to 15 feet of storm surge going into southwest Louisiana. That is a lot. And once again, the National Hurricane Center is still saying that this 10 to 15 feet of water can go up to 30 miles inland. 30 miles inland. So if you're along the coastline, and let's go from Port Arthur, Sabine Pass, all the way over to Intercoastal City, Louisiana, 10 to 15 feet, 30 miles inland. That should tell you all you need to know. And I was looking at some buoy data. Let me get back over. Well, I've done gone off the reservation there. I was looking at buoy data earlier, and one buoy that was in the northeast quadrant, it recorded a 40-foot wave. Yeah, 40 feet, a 40-foot wave. I need more coffee. I'm not talking right this morning. So, Laura is nothing to be messed with. Let's go into the model data. And as you can see, right on the Texas-Louisiana coastline is where model data has it. Notice here's Houston. No real model data. Man, I can't talk this morning. No real model data this morning for Houston. So that's a good look. Let's go look at the different types of models. This is Hurricane Plus. Once again, we call this model consensus. This is model consensus going in right at the Texas-Louisiana border. Get out of that. Let's go to the GFS. GFS carries it just a little further west. So this is more of a Beaumont direct hit from the American model, the GFS model. Anytime you hear me say GFS, just think American model. Your GFS parallel, which has more environmental factors laid into it, that has pretty much Texas-Louisiana coastline in it. And let's look at intensity. Right now, Cat 3, everything's grouped up to Cat 3. You got one going up to Cat 4. Just personally for me, I think Cat 4, and I put this out on Facebook earlier today. For me, the only question is, does this reach up to a Cat 5 at some point? That's the only question that I have. This is the actual position of Laura right now. As you can tell, almost directly due south of central Louisiana. Here's your projection right here, is this northwest curve. Now, I want to go in and I want to look at, kind of show you why. I did this last night. I love doing this. I'm going to try to show you why the hurricane is going in its direction. Give me just a second. I'm going to zoom out for a second. I want to show you, this is one of my, if you want to try to see where a hurricane is going to go, I always go and I look at moisture. So this is the GO-16. This is the brand new satellite that has been put into space about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. And by the way, category 3 still. Just got that notice. But I really love going in. I love looking at moisture. So here is this orange and red is dry air. Everything else that has the gray or blue or green colors or yellow colors, this is moisture. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on a loop, and I'm going to do it for 60 frames. And I want you to see, taking the overall view, of a particular system is you have to do it this way, because if you don't do it that way and you're just looking strictly at the system, you're not looking at the complete picture. It to me, well, this is the best way I can explain it. The atmosphere is, if you look at it as a whole, it moves like liquid. It moves like water in a bathtub. If you move around in it, it moves like liquid. It rolls. Where's my pointer at? Here we go. See how it rolls? It looks like it just rolls like it's a little tornado spiral in a bathtub if you're in it. It just, everything, if you take the larger view, the atmosphere looks and kind of reacts like water. Here we go. Here is Laura right here. Looks really good on satellite right now. You can see the eye, definite eye. You can see her increasing in speed. So what has been pushing Laura to the west has been this high pressure system. If you go look at my video from last night, you could still see the high pressure system, this moisture or this dry air pushing Laura to the west. You can still see it a little bit, but Laura has now created her own atmosphere. So the push west has now really mitigated. Now the next steering factor for Laura is this right here. So you can see this dry air flows like this. Look how forceful Laura is, though. Laura is forcing this steering pattern up. That's how much force that Laura has. So it's amazing that something that comes out of Alaska and Canada can move over and start affecting a system in the Gulf. That's what's happening. That's what's about to happen right now. So here's your steering current. This is why Laura is taking the northerly, starting to go, instead of going due west, Laura is starting that northwest turn, the gradual turn. This will pick Laura up plus this weakness. So you have a high pressure right here, you have a high pressure right here. This is the weakness right in between. And your low pressure is going to go where the weakness is. And as strong as Laura, the stronger Laura gets, the stronger a hurricane gets, the more poleward the system will turn, which means the stronger that it gets, the more the system will turn towards the North Pole. Because all this, your atmosphere, it might dip down, your jet stream might dip down, but guess what? Your storms might dip down. But guess what? The natural tendency for stronger storms and for storms in general is to move back towards the North Pole. And that's just Weather 101 there. So this is what's going to pick Laura up and move her more northerly. And then it will also pick her up, move her over, say the Louisiana-Texas line up north, and then pick her up and move her out to the Atlantic Ocean again. Because Laura is so big and because of the damage that she will do, I'm sure the name Laura will probably be retired after this. So this might be the last Laura that we see. But she looks really good on satellite, as you can tell. Here we go. This is a low that's moving out. You see the natural tendency, the natural flow of this is to move north. The westerly pull, you don't see it near as much. So there's not, that would be a push. So the westerly push has pretty much mitigated. Laura has created her own atmosphere. She's getting stronger, which means she's starting to pole northward. That's what we say in meteorology. She's poling northwards, which means she's starting to pull north. This will pull Laura more northerly along with her strength. And then this is what will pick her up, move her into Texas-Louisiana border, and then eventually catch her up and move her out to the east. There's also this right here. This low pressure system. This low pressure system is also helping to tug and pull Laura north. So there'll be more of a northwest component to it today, and then later on tonight, that pull north it'll go from northwest to almost a pull north, and that's what will pull her onto land. So once again, I love taking a look at moisture, because moisture kind of tells you pull, push. Excuse me, I get it right. Pull, push, and you can kind of see. If you look at my video yesterday, there was definitely this push for push westward. That push westward has now mitigated, and now it is strength, and now you have upper level systems that are going to start tugging Laura more northwest, and then due north, and then eventually almost due east when it's all said and done. So I love taking a look at the bigger picture, because the bigger picture can tell you basically what's going to happen in the near future. So that's my morning update on Laura. A absolutely just monster storm, doing what she is supposed to do, doing what nature has intended Laura to do, which is to cool. And in order to cool what's going on in the Gulf of Mexico, you have to have a big storm. That's just inevitable. Laura has a great atmosphere to be around, low shear, hot water, which provides the energy. And Laura's just doing her thing. Like I said, like I posted up on Facebook this morning, the only question now, I think Cat 4 is probably already here. The question is, does she hit Cat 5 before landfall, and what does she go in? My projection is Sabine Pass, maybe just a little east of Sabine Pass is a landfall. I'm still debating on whether she hits a 5 or not. She is bomb cycling right now. Just since we have one aircraft recon that's out there now, been in there, been in Laura for 2 hours, and in the 2 hours that this aircraft has been, the Hurricane Hunter has been in Laura, she has dropped 9 millibars in 2 hours. That's bombing. That's she is really getting stronger. Don't see much weakness happening. There might be an eye wall replacement that might happen, but as big as her eye is right now, there's a real question on whether the actual eye wall replacement actually happens. Might run out of time. Such a big storm. Will the actual eye wall replacement happen? And bonus, ready for this little bonus? I just noticed this. Notice inside, notice these blue, the multiple blues in here. The multiple blues in there, people think that the eye of a hurricane, yes, it's calm, but there are multiple vortices inside, and especially in a major hurricane, there's multiple vortices inside the eye wall. So you could see multiple little vorticities inside an eye wall. Let me see if I can get let me see. Let's go to visible. Let me see if I can get close enough to see. It's going to be kind of difficult. We'll move in. But inside a eye, you can have multiple vortices inside an eye. So eye is not just, we used to think the eye was just calm. Let me see if I might have a picture of what multiple vortices look like. Yeah, this is my Randall Weathers page. This is my logo. But inside, there are multiple vortices that go on. So if you look down, this would be inside an eye of a hurricane. If you look down, you would see multiple twists inside an eye. And that's what, let me get out of here and go back in. That's what the satellite data is picking up right now inside of Laura. That's that multiple blues. So there's multiple vortices inside of an eye, which is very, very cool. If you will probably see it later on today when the eye clears up a little bit more for Laura. And I'll try to show it to you this afternoon if it comes up on visible satellite. It's absolutely amazing to watch because you have the big eye wall spinning at a slower rate, but on the inside of the eye wall, you can actually see multiple vortices spinning at a faster rate on the inside. It's really, really cool to look at. But anyway, I'm spending too much time. I'm going to go ahead and get off. Thank you for spending some time with me this morning. I'll have an afternoon. I'll spend some time this afternoon talking to you. We'll look at some data, see what's going on with Laura. I think by that time she'll be a category 4. And then we'll have a better idea on A, landfall, and B, strength by the time we get into it this afternoon. So once again, thank you very much. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. I will go live, and if I go live on YouTube. Make sure that you get notified on that, but go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciate it. See you this afternoon.